Many of the problems that exist in our society are regarded as personal problems. The society blames individuals for not overcoming them. Is this really a personal problem? We don't think so. One for all for one. Now, we are going to tell you 2 stories. Please listen to these stories and think again if it's really a personal problem.
Our first project is a story of sewing craftsman 우리의. The familiar song you're listening now is titled Four Seasons. This song is about the domestic sewing industry in the 60s to 80s. At that time, Changsin-dong was a street full of sewing machine sounds and led the overseas fashion exports. However, since the mid-90s, the majority of work has moved to cheap labor countries and the Changsin-dong sewing industry lost its vitality.
걱정인 게 여기서 얼마나 많은 사람이 또 빠져나갔을까. 왜냐면 일이 없어서 얼마나 많은 사람이 또 빠져나갔을까.
To address this situation, we discovered a significant opportunity factor to solve this problem. The sewing craftsmen in Changsin-dong are specialists with the experience of at least 20 to 40 years and have skilled sewing techniques. Thus, we wanted to activate Changshin sewing factories again by producing competitive products using assets of sewing craftsmen. Our vision is to create a society where sewing is respected as creative craftsmanship, not just a simple labor. We envision a society where sewing craftsmen can fully demonstrate their skills. So, we launched the modernized hanbok clothing brand 우리의, a domestic clothing brand, which means to honor our sewing industry. Why modernized hanbok? Hanbok requires finer sewing skill than other clothing, and these days, people start to appreciate its trendy design. So, we wanted to deliver a message to public, respect our sewing industry through modernized hanbok.
The first product of 우리의 was hanbok loungewear. We achieved sales of around 21 million won, net income of around 6.2 million won. Through this, we provided the sewing craftsmen with opportunities to engage in their work and demonstrate their capabilities. How did 우리의 achieve this result?
Consumers said that they were attracted to a new design, a combination of hanbok and loungewear. The main issues with loungewear was the boring design. So, we found comfortable structural elements in hanbok and applied them to loungewear. This was possible due to the craftsman's skill. With 서울 의류 봉제 협동조합, we contacted craftsmen with 8 sewing factories in charge of each process, and we sold our first loungewear through crowdfunding.
However, there was something we overlooked. We were not able to prevent the elastic band of some clothes from being twisted after washing. As we knew, one mistake can lead to a loss of trust. By correcting mistakes and applying the needs of the consumers, 우리의 released second summer version loungewear. After the first loungewear design, we signed an exclusive contract with one fixed designer. By reducing the number of daily inspections from 150 to 30, we were able to be more detailed in our inspections. Additionally, we visited the factory more than 3 times a week.
As a result, producing around 720 clothes with 12 sewing factories, we achieved around 25 million won in sales and raised 4.7 million won in fundraising. And the sewing craftsmen were able to make a profit of 6 million won through 우리의. And 우리 was exposed to approximately 11,000 times through various channels. According to a customer survey, 우리 found that 87% of the consumers recognized the outstanding technology of domestic sewing craftsmen and the reality of the domestic sewing industry.
멀게만 느껴졌던 한국이 홈웨어로 우리가 만나가지고 가깝게 느껴질 수 있어서 진짜 우리 너무 고맙습니다.
기회가 너무 좋죠. 우린 사실 그런 거 생각을 못 해봤거든. 난 너무 좋지 그런 거. 그래서 난 이런 프로젝트 너무 좋아해요.
나에게 봉제란 인생 그 자체고요. 그리고 행복이에요.
나에게 봉제란 예술이다.
나에게 봉제란 재산이다.
나한테 봉제란
내 생활의 일부죠.
나를 당당하게 살 수 있도록 만들어주고
우리의 will move on to products through which sewing craftsmen can show their technical skills more effectively. Our 두루마기 outer will be released in August, and we have completed the sample production. We are in negotiation to hold a fashion show in September with Hanbok designer Kim Liu. Moreover, this November we are planning to enter the offline pop-up store at Lotte department store. And we have confirmed our entry into the online platform being produced by the Gwangjin-gu office. By the end of this year, 우리의 will achieve 50 million won in sales in 20 sewing factories.
Why? We want to keep expanding our business.
저만 그러는 게 아니고 우리 다 만날 때마다 전부 다 힘들어서 다 우성이에요. 왜냐 갈수록 이제 더 힘들지 않나. 앞으로 전망이 안 보여.
We are not just dreaming of a clothing brand. For this reason, we would like to influence domestic and foreign brands to share the production of clothing with domestic sewing craftsmen. From Changsindong to the whole country and from Korea to abroad, 우리의 won't stop until the sound of sewing machines rise again.
Our second project is a story of social withdrawal delight. Social withdrawal are people that have no social relationship other than family and only stayed at home more than 3 months without any social contact. Among them, social withdrawal especially mean people who are anxious about their condition and want to change it.
이들이 어떤 병이라거나 어떤 단일한 사건에 의해서 이렇게 된 건 아니거든요. 어떤 여러 가지 사건과 경험들의 총합으로 이들에게 문제가 생긴 것인데요.
We Delight found that there is a limit to their ability to overcome seclusion by themselves. They need a third party to adapt to the society.
We have met people who need this help at K2, a social withdrawal co-living organization. Here's the story about our first participant, Taehyun Lee. Lee tried to have a job several times, but the aimless task has brought Lee back to the secluded life. She likes painting and design, and she wanted to use the asset and hoped people to be interested in social withdrawal issues. So, we created DIY Delight Mood Light. Taehyun Lee designed with her message and Delight commercialized and funded. As a result, we achieved 1.6 million won in sales and distributed the profit with Taehyun Lee.
공이 구체화된다고 느낄 때마다 되게 신기했어요. 아, 내가 이런 것도 만들 수 있구나. 용기가 생겨서 그래서 요즘에는 운동고수 프로젝트를 맡고 있는데 자신감을 얻어갑니다.
Through this project, we've learned that the most important factor for them is improving self-esteem and achievement. With these factors, social withdrawal can become psychologically independent, which means they can put into action anytime they want. Although we made a positive change to Lee, we realized that this project was too limited to influence lots of social withdrawal. Therefore, we pivoted our project to focus on supporting psychological independence. Our program for this is the Delight Conversation Group. Why the Conversation Group?
매우 중요한데요. 나랑 똑같은 사람이 너무 많은 거죠. 나만 그런 게 아니구나. 너도 그래? 그러면서 서로가 살아온 이야기를 하게 되고 자신이 비정상이 아니고 굉장히 정상적이지만 어떤 어려움을 겪고 있는 사람으로서 자각할 수 있게 됩니다.
First, conversation groups talk about the story of life of social withdrawal every week. In the conversation group, participants improve self-esteem by empathize and support each other. Second, participants achieve 도전 과제 based on their bucket list. By this process, they feel a sense of achievement, change habits, and improve life experiences. We made a partnership with experts such as psychological counselors to receive training and feedback on our program. And now, we are recruiting the first participants through a network with 20 social withdrawal organizations. Furthermore, we are going to launch the Light newsletter subscribe service. By the newsletter, people around the social withdrawal get a guideline to understand them, how to behave, and how to help them with programs. According to the experts, people on the social withdrawal really need such contents and a willingness to pay for it.
We are planning to host a conversation group once a week in Nurto, starting our first meeting in July, and we will make a regular curriculum. To increase conversation groups, we'll train and hire some of the participants as 보임지기 and approach more social withdrawal by outreach programs with our participants. Furthermore, the Light newsletter will be the database to give a guideline who is social withdrawal and how to help. By the end of this year, we'll attract 320 subscribers. Therefore, we will delight them as a light.
We've earned a total of 28 million won in sales
Influenced over 14,000 people,
and dedicate over 10,000 hours for our mission this year.
we will continue to create more impact with more people. Now, we are going to ask you one more question. Is this really a personal problem? All the actions we've taken were for the participants in our projects, but in the end, these were for the entire society. We will make a better society. That's what we call one for all for one. Because this is our mission of Enactus.